converted man here. Hey, you know Otangelo? I've seen that name around. I've talked to him, and I did an imitation of him a couple times. I think he's, hello, this is Otangelo. Kind of sounds like Kermit the Frog a little bit. Anyways, I was looking for content to do, and YouTube has kind of dried up, I guess, of people making videos about God. So I just looked on the internet and I was like, come on, help me out, internet. And then I found this. Yeah, a forum completely made by and run by Otangelo. Or Otangelo. 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 There you go. I can't, look, topic started by Otangelo. Every single topic is by Otangelo. Yes, every topic, every post is a. Well, here's one by a guest. Maybe that was him. uh, yeah. So, oh wow, jeez. Oh no, that's Otangelo. He just didn't log in, I guess. Let's see. So it's all just no. Here's maybe one other person, maybe a couple other person. Oh, here's another person. Nobody's registered. That's interesting, except for him. Hey, this is a free forum, so you can't like click on his name, and I don't know. It's by word. He's got a lot of words. So I used to back in the day, I did forums. There was Debate Christianity. I used that a lot. And then I came to YouTube and I stopped doing these message boards because of like, I'd rather do YouTube, it just seems like you get more people to talk to. It seems like you can actually like work through some of these ideas instead of, and what was interesting about back then is that the arguments have not changed. The text arguments are just now done verbally. But you at least get some interaction. You give some give and take, so that's something. But it's interesting. I don't know if you are interested in Otangelo, as I find him to be an interesting character. Um, I'm a little bit I regret a little bit teasing him. He took it. I think he took it too hard. I don't know. Maybe he didn't care. I don't know. Does God exist? Origin God, metaphysical reality, various issues, philosophy and God. Can God's existence be rationally proved? No. And then there's a subcategory: atheism, astronomy and cosmology and God, quantum and particle physics, as if he would know anything about that. Origin of life, chemistry, RNA, DNA worlds. I mean, if you wanted to, intelligent design. If you wanted to type out stuff at him, you could do it here. And you could also just get an insight to what he believes just by reading what he's written, so that if you happen to interact with him again, you at least know what he believes going in. So, God's not complex. Who is God? 125 reasons to believe in God. Well, I just need one piece of evidence. That's all. Why is the rational demand to ask for proof of his existence? Well, wait a minute. Now that sounds interesting. Oh, I'm gonna read through this. This sounds like content to me. All right, God. Why it's an irrational? It is an irrational demand to ask for proof of his existence. Well, then, so much for the whole asking the question if it can be proved rationally if you can't demand proof. And then I don't know why you link back to your own topic, but okay. Empirical evidence alone cannot confirm that there exists laws of logic, but we use them very daily. Wrong. Okay, let me stop right there. Wrong. Yes, we can prove that using what's called a truth table within logic. So you don't know what you're talking about. So the laws of logic, you know, what are they? So let's see. Law of non-contradiction, excluded middle, and well, I principle of identity. I usually have it be principle of identity as first, and whatever. But I guess it doesn't really matter what the order is. But these are axioms. They are true because they can't not be true, and the way that you prove that they're true is, well, actually kind of a little bit complicated. Let me show you here. Let's see. Stop screening. Orteglo is insufferable. Yeah, now you have an entire forum that he's created that you can check out. So here's the symbolic uh, way that you can show these laws, right? And this is just one example because there's others you can find, but that formula is the evidence. That's the empirical evidence. It's visible. It's exchangeable. It's also it's a notation. It's an axiom. You can do it in a truth table. All of that is empirical in some way, shape, or form. And even if you didn't want to say it's empirical, you could say it's testable, which is one of my criteria. Either it has to be empirical or testable. So he leaves out the testable part, but he thinks that these can't be proven. They are proven. So you're just wrong about that. Okay, what else? Laws of science, but scientists use the constantly. Again, no, the laws of science. There's no laws of science. You mean the laws of nature, like gravity? No, we observe these things are these ways all the time. So no, we have constant observation of those. Cause and effect, but we think we experience it all the time. Some claim this is true, seeing is believing. However, one if believes that, then okay, hold on. Cause and effect. Well, this is number 3 is like got subheadings. I love when people just do this, run on sentences stuff. Well, cause and effect is a thing that we observe. Now, whether it is always true is a different question. And it's funny because the apologists will often claim that cause and effect is true in all cases, but we don't know that. We only know that for observations that we make that cause and effect seems to be the case in many cases, but in quantum physics maybe not, and also in when you have the universe being super hot like it was in the early universe, cause and effect might not be a thing anymore. Anyways, but we think we experience it all the time. Well, okay, so this would. I will also assume that he was right that this could not be proven if you couldn't confirm that there exist these things by empirical evidence alone, right? Which is a reductivist method, because even I don't do that. I mean, but okay, but you're asking for proof. Shouldn't you be complaining about empirical evidence alone, right? So, and the fact that you can't ask for empirical evidence of these other things doesn't negate that you're asking for empirical evidence of some other thing too. It's just a classic, irrational way to rationalize something. Oh, we can't prove this, this, and this. So really, okay, so we can't prove that either. Yeah. It's in the group of no. We should then doubt every single one of these things if what he says was true, but it's not. But again, he's kind of reductionist. Seeing is believing. Well, I wouldn't say that. I just seeing it myself isn't good enough. I need to be able to test it as well, and other people need to be able to see it too. However, if one believes that, then does this person actually see this truth or fee? Why did you capitalize FE and then not EL? feel it by stumbling over this truth in the dark, or smell this truth in the air, or taste this truth in the dinner meal, or hear this, or five, hear this truth in the middle of the night. If not, then the truism seen as believing cannot be proven to actually be true, because it is not something that can be proven empirically. Dr. Bastian. Well, you could have linked to whoever this guy is. So empirical proof has the greatest problems, not always the best proof. Uh, Wrong, but what about repeatable tests? It's so reductionist. Okay. Claim. You're making the assertion that the God of the Bible is truthful. We don't have proof of his existence and know that his character lied in the Bible. You wouldn't believe this great God Shari was good if you didn't think he was real. Response. Where is this claim coming from? He's just making this up. Well, it's true that there's no objective proof for the existence of God. Okay, there you go. Thank you. My work here is done. You've admitted it. The belief in the higher power is a matter of faith for many people. Right, that's the problem. It's faith, not fact. I don't want faith. I want it to be fact. As for the character God in the Bible, it's important to consider historical and cultural context in which it was written, as well as the interpretation and translation of text over time. Yeah, you can't trust the Bible as written. I agree. So I don't know what the character of God is like. That's a problem, not a feature. It's like, oh, well, you don't really know what the Bible really said. Yeah, neither do you. But why is it that you use it then? Yeah, I agree. We don't know what what was the historical and cultural context when it was written. We don't know that, right? Or do you? And what is the interpretation of it and the translation over it? Over time, it has changed. At least you're not one of those inerrance things. So that means you can't trust the Bible. Then you can't ever use the Bible ever for anything, because you can't trust it, right? But you do use the Bible. Additionally, many people view the Bible as a metaphorical or symbolic representation of God's teachings rather than literal account of his actions. That's nice, but why would you view it as anything when you can't be sure of what it is? Because the historical and cultural context when it was written might be, we know that this is completely made up, but we're writing it anyways. And then the interpretation of those written things changed over time, and everybody that interpreted it, that changed it over time. And then on top of that, you also have translation that changed that on top of that. So what do you then have left of the original? Little to nothing at best, right? It's like the phone game, but worse. You lose so much information that you don't even know what you lost. And that's the problem. Why are you using the Bible then? You shouldn't use it. Oh, Sherry. Oh, the Sherry cat. Okay, the smiling cat. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? The analogy to the cat's flawed. Cat's a fictional character created for a children's story. So is God. So it's not an analogy. I don't know who said this though, but it's your own, because you did not cite who said this claim. For all I know, you're making your own claim here. God as concept has been a central aspect of human spirituality and religion for thousands of years. It's still an analogy, because you can't see this cat and this magical cat, and it vanishes. Doesn't matter that God is spiritual and religion. It's still an invisible cat. I mean, there's no proof of it, just like there's no proof of the cat. That's the point that they're trying to make. Well, we may never be able to definitely prove the existence or non-existence of God. Well, there you go. Well, now you don't need to prove the non-existence of God. You just need to prove the existence. That's all you have to do. That's it. Prove the existence, and then we're done. Until you prove that it is a thing, there's no reason to believe it is a thing, which is not the same of saying that there is no thing. There is a difference here. But yes, we know that the Shari, I can't say this damn cat's name. Cheshire cat, whatever the fuck. Alice in Wonderland cat. You know, that thing is not true. How do we know it's not true? How can we say it's false, right? See, you gotta dive into that more. Like, how do you know that this is false? And then say that methodology to show that this is false isn't used on God, and here's why. Like, show that this is a coherent concept. Many people find comfort, guidance, and purpose in their faith. That's irrelevant. That doesn't matter. That doesn't make it true. Or false. Doesn't mean anything. Atheist. Yeah, this is the atheist straw man. I got a knock on the door. Oh no! Oh no! What? No, I'm recording. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm back. They were delivering a thing of paint. Never mind. All right. Ugh, where was I? Atheist. What's the atheist straw man here say? Oopsie, made it bigger. Here we go. All the theist ever offers arguments sans any demonstration whatsoever. Provide verifiable evidence for any God demonstrating his existence. Yeah, you know, I've said something like this. I think I've said there is no proof, only bad arguments. I have said that. So yeah. So where's your proof? Answer. Many atheists believe in the multiverse. Do they? Really? Do you have any citation on that? Hold on. Before you go say what many atheists believe, please demonstrate what atheists believe. This would be easy to do, or it should be easy to do if you had access to this information, but you don't. I know you don't because you don't have the citation for it. What you would want is a study of, let's say, 10,000 would be good. It'd be a good start. Wouldn't be great. I mean, bigger the numbers, the better. But 10,000 will be good enough for my purposes. 10,000 atheists. Let's ask 10,000 atheists whether they believe in the multiverse or not. And then, if a majority of them say that, you'd have a percentage. You'd have to give a margin of error because some atheists might be lying, because some people lie during these sort of questionnaires. I don't know why, but they do. So there's a margin of error. And you factor that in. Then you have a percentage, and you go, okay, the X amount of percentage in this study have do agree with this, and there you go. And then you have a study. But you don't have that, so you can't say this. All right, I personally don't believe in the multiverse. I don't know if there is or isn't a multiverse. I'm not worried about it. If it's a thing, then science will find it. If not, then I'm skeptical of it. I don't have any proof of it, so I don't believe it's a thing yet. All right. Abiogenesis. Well, we know that abiogenesis happened, and we know that from science. There are many questions still to be answered, but this is not a belief system. So, false equivalence. And microevolution. Oh, God. From last universal common ancestor to man. Yeah, microevolution happens. We have demonstrable demonstration of that. So this is not a belief. This is a well-established scientific fact. So the only thing that actually you could say that we believe would be multiverse. Maybe. But disbelieving in God because it can't be seen or tested. Double standard bunch? No, actually, because we have proof of 2 of the 3 things at the very least. But yeah, we shouldn't believe in the multiverse. But this is a 2Q que. It's like, well, you believe in this, you believe in that. See, got you. You believe in this. See, you believe in something that can't be proven. Yeah, okay. Even if that's true, that might be true. It's not, but it might be true. That doesn't negate that I want proof for this other thing. All you're doing is saying I should just believe in these things too. Okay, great. I still don't believe in God. Now what? Despite it can't be observed, but just believe in God because you did it. Atheists cannot prove either that the natural world is all there is, but we're not trying to do that. So that doesn't matter. I knew about Otangelo as a message board. I briefly checked it out and said to myself, that's going to be a no for me, dog. Yeah, but it's so fun. Come on. All right. Anyways. Yeah. Step 1. Can you provide any positive, demonstrable, testable, repeatable, actionable, empirical, tangible, falsifiable evidence for your claims? No, he's saying it's unreasonable to ask for evidence, empirical evidence, and he's leaving out all the other things that you asked for, Yin Yang. He's just saying that it's unreasonable to ask for empirical evidence by itself because of all this stuff that he's making up. Neither view, theism nor materialism, can be proven. Well, I mean, of course, materialism could be proven to the extent that we could prove it, but theism, what the hell do you mean? Science will never demonstrate how reality came about. How do you know that? We can only look at science available to us and find adequate philosophical explanations based on the evidence. Yeah, that's correct. Too bad you don't do that. What you do is you pretend that there is a God, and then say that we should not ask for evidence for it. The scientific method nor any other will never be able to demonstrate God's existence. How do you know that? It won't be able to demonstrate your version of God, perhaps, because your version of God may not be something that you can demonstrably demonstrate. But if it happens to be that your version of God is not actually the true version of God, but there does exist a different version of God that can be proven via science, then we would prove that God is true and thus also prove that your God is false if your God requires us to think that it requires there to not be a God that is materialistic in origin or nature. So if we ever did prove God via science, that would mean your God is false. See my video, Smart Kid, what was it called? Smart Kid Dumb Claims, I think I called it. Now I'm going to have to look up my own video. Dang it, Abbott. Let's see, Smart Kid. Let's see, Smart Kid Dumb Arguments. Yeah, that video. Pretty much the same thing here. Anyways, or the claim that material universe is all there is. Well, nobody makes that claim that I know of. I don't make that claim. Historical events cannot be repeated. Well, no, they kind of, well, depends what you're talking about, but yes, the things can be repeated in some way, shape, or form. Like, say Abraham Lincoln gets shot in the back of the head. Well, no, we don't have an Abraham Lincoln anymore to shoot in the back of the head. We don't need to shoot somebody in the back of the head because we have seen that other people have been shot in the back of the head. So we don't need to do it ourselves. We can say, hey, when you get shot in the back of the head, the likely outcome is you are very dead. Okay? So we know that from observation. What we have never been able to observe or demonstrate or test at all is magic or miracles. From what we know, we can decide which is the bigger leap of faith, which materialism as well requires. No, it doesn't. It's a 2Q Quay fallacy. Any view, conclusion, and positions based on a leap of faith. No, it's not. It's just that, a leap of faith. No, it's not. Upon my understanding, which is wrong, there's extraordinary evidence for a creator, which you didn't provide. Your entire thing was to say that why we should object, why it's irrational to ask for evidence. So you're saying there is no evidence for a creator because your thing is said to be an irrational demand for their existence. Why it's irrational to ask for proof. So there isn't any. So there isn't any extraordinary evidence at all. In fact, there isn't any evidence, and asking for it is irrational according to you. Therefore, theism requires the smallest leap of faith and points to your creator. No, it doesn't. It requires far more. It requires faith, period. what I don't believe in requires zero faith at all. If there would be no God, now see, none of this, by the way, explains the topic. He's just all over the place at this point. If there would be no God, then anything should be possible, arbitrary, and nothing would be impossible. How do you know that? Without God, nothing could be established, imposed, and secured. How do you know that? The laws of physics could be instantiated, disappeared at any moment. Okay, how do you know that? God is the ultimate and singular. That means the source of all facts and possibilities. How do you know that? How is any of this proving your thesis statement in your essay? It's not. I grade your essay a negative F so far. Without God's hiddenness, what hiddenness of God? Wait, what? We would not have any significant freedom. What are you talking about? Wait, what? Even those that hate God would be able to fully live according to their wishes. What are you talking about? Why? Why wouldn't you be able to? Wait, what? Why would that be the case? Much like a criminal will find it intolerable living in the police station. How do you know that? There are corrupted cops. You know that. You know that there are police that break the law, right? Like there are police that break. What you're Ben, you're all over the place. My word. God stays hidden to a degree. To a degree. Oh, see, he's not hidden. Because there's there's extraordinary evidence, but he's hidden, right? That's not at all contradictory, even in a little bit. He's hidden. He's hiding. He's shy. God is really shy. He gives people the free will to either respond to his tugging at their hearts. Wait a minute. Now, which is it? If he's tugging at my heart, then I know that he exists. But if he's hidden, then he can't tug at my heart. Or remain anonymous from him. There's enough light for those who desire to find him, and enough darkness that those prefer to do autonomously to him, in capitals and bold and yeah, whatever. If you prefer being an atheist, God values free will more than his desires for you. Wow. This is so incoherent. I don't desire being an atheist. I never wanted this. Otangelo. I didn't want to be deconverted. But does it matter if I want or don't want something? All I want is evidence, which you don't have. Clearly, you don't have. And in fact, you're saying that asking for evidence is irrational, which you're not providing proof of in your incoherent essay. Oh, man. But this is content, so I'm going to keep going. If you're really after the truth, you then have an open mind and follow the evidence where it leads, even if you don't like the conclusion. Well, I did that. That's why I'm an atheist. That's why I'm an atheist, is I actually did that. You didn't, clearly. Matthew 7, I don't care what this says, because remember you said before we can't trust what this means because the historical and the place and the time and all of this has changed, so we don't really, and also we don't care about Revelation anymore. Anyways, once he revealed himself to me, how do you know that he revealed himself to you? He convinced me beyond a shadow of doubt that he is who he said he is, and it all made sense. Well, that sounds great. So you've had an experience that you're convinced of. That's nice. I haven't had that experience. So, and even if I did, it wouldn't be enough, because I would need other people to be able to confirm that experience is actually a thing that happened in reality and not just my own brain. Because this is not evidence of anything. But it also doesn't prove your essay, so I don't know what it's doing in here. Without God's hiddenness, we do not have any significant freedom. You're just repeating yourself now. Wait. Did I? Wait. Wait. Yeah, no, this is just the same. Wait, what? You're repeating yourself. You're repeating yourself. Oh man, this entire paragraph, you've already said it. Marks off for that. I'm grading this like an essay. This is like more points off for repeating your own stuff. If we can make any god of an object of our observations, we have demoted God to the level of a thing in creation. What? So God demoted itself by making Jesus? Because didn't God make Jesus to be an object of in creation? So then, isn't God then demoting Jesus? This is incoherent. Even theologically, this is incoherent. Wow, good job. You've made Jesus less than God. Okay. We who have been wooed into conventional loving relationship with God find comfort. I don't. That doesn't matter. In this, whatever, you don't have any proof of that. So those who resist the love of God, those who be nothing less than hell on earth. I don't know. It doesn't seem that bad being an atheist to me. Anyone else finding hell on earth by resisting God? I don't know. Seems okay to me. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, right. It wasn't hidden to Joseph Smith or Muhammad. Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he seems happy, which is great, but the reasoning is poor. Right. Yeah, I'm not concerned with the guy's happiness or not. I'm concerned with the truth. That's it. That's why I talk about this stuff. If you were intelligent software living in a virtual world of bytes, okay, how would you show other intelligent software that humans exist? What? I don't know what the hell you're talking. You can't come out of the computer. Why not? Humans would need to resort to software in order. Yeah, this is a bad analogy. I've used this analogy myself. Okay. If you're an intelligent software, how would you show the other intelligent software that humans exist? I don't know, because I don't know what it's like to be intelligent software. What can they see and observe and test that inside of the software? It's just a bad analogy. And why would it matter if humans existed or not? Like, why would it matter to prove that humans exist, right? If the humans don't care about the intelligent software, right? You know what I'm going to do with this? All right, you know what I've got to do with this. Let's just see what an actual intelligent software has to say about any of this. Just for fun. Because why not? Let's do it. Yes, 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 let's do it. Let's do come on. Hold on a second. Hold on. Gotta log in. Yeah. You know what I'm doing, right? I'm sure you do. Alright, here we go. Alright. Oopsie. Oops. That was the wrong button to hit. Alright, let's see what it says. Okay. If I were an intelligent software living in a virtual world of bytes and couldn't directly interact with humans but wanted to demonstrate to other intelligent software that humans exist, I would need to rely on the software controlled by humans to convey that information. Here's how I might go about it. Sharing human created content, historical records and documentation, cultural exchanges, proxy communication, consensus among intelligent software. Ultimately, I would understand the limits of my virtual existence and make the best use of available resources to build trust and convey the concept of human existence to other intelligent software. There you go. That's what an actual intelligent software has to say in response to your incoherent nonsense. Let's see what your nonsense produces on its own. All right. The quest of he didn't explain. He said it's not possible. Chat GPT just explained how it would be possible. God. Do some minor research. Come on. The quest of origins is not solved by empirical science or proof. Sure it is. Why not? Why wouldn't it be? Your version of it isn't, but your version is magic. Your version is a miracle. Your version is illusionary. Your version is a fantasy, a fairy tale. It is made up. Your version is not an actual thing. So yes, it can't be solved by empirical science or proof because it's not anything that can be proven. But again, this does nothing for your essay, which is what you're supposed to be doing. This is an essay. This is a thesis statement, right? And then you're supposed to have sentences and paragraphs that back up your thesis statement, but you don't. Like demonstrating God by probability or plausibility is an absurd restriction. No, it's not. And this kind of burden of proof cannot be met by both sides. There's no burden on my side. Since historical facts cannot be recreated, sure they can. Like origin of life, that can be recreated, but so what? Or biodiversification, we observe that all the time. Furthermore, if God is God, he would not comply with silly demands. How do you know that? Why not? Why are they silly demands? I don't think they're silly, and would not permit to be forced to do anything. How do you know that? Why not? Why is God such a jerk? Hey God, just reveal yourself. No, I don't wanna. Matthew 16 doesn't matter. In other words, the right epistemology method is abductive reasoning. Oh God. Hey, didn't somebody want to talk about epistemology? Yeah, well. Don't know if my audience is smart enough to do that, though. Maybe I'm not smart enough to do it. No, that's fine. I'm not upset about that. No, that's fine. In other words, the right epistemological method is abductive reasoning, a logical inference to find the simplest and most likely conclusion from the observations. Hey, that's actually decent. But it's not what I would say per se. I mean, I think there's a little bit more uh, to it than that. But okay, it's close. It's getting there. The epistemology I use is empirical evidence, repeatable test, and a valid and sound argument. I think that's fairly simple. Nobody's been able to tell me that I'm wrong about that or show me another option to use. So I think it's pretty darn good. Could be wrong. I don't know. Origin of physical. I don't know why I complained about this other thing. It's on my mind. Sorry. Anyways, origin of physical laws, universe, and its fine tuning. Which, oh God, I hate that. I wish that scientists had never, whoever it was, ever came up with this, should have just kept their mouth. Cannot be demonstrated to be originated by cosmic evolution. Yes, it can. How do you know that it can't be? Absolutely, it can be. If things were different, things would be different. But as far as I know, nobody there might not be a computer model that can do this yet. I don't know. Maybe there has been a computer model. They've probably done it with math on its own. I don't know that they have, but you're just saying that it can't be done. You don't know that. You don't know that is the case. You do not know what can and cannot be done in the terms of science. Just you're overstepping yourself here. Despite over half a century of attempting to recreate the origin of life, every attempt has failed. No, it hasn't. But even if it has, that doesn't matter. The hypothesis of chemical evolution is a big scientific failure. No, it's not. But even if it was, so what? None of the basic building blocks of life have ever been synthesized in the lab. That's just not true. Yes, they have been. And even if that was the case, so what? Even with intelligent human intervention. Now, here's what you would say if we had demonstrable demonstration that you were completely wrong, which I'm sure we have. You would just then shift the goalposts and say, aha, it took intelligence to make this. And I know you would do that because every other theist does that as well. I remember the talk I had with Matt Slick way back when, where he did the same thing. He's like, aha, so they proved evolution using intelligence. Ha ha ha. And I was like, oh, God. Primary speciation and evolutionary transition showed to whatever. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. You don't have any idea. You don't understand this science. I know I don't, and I know for sure you don't have a clue. Yes, it has been. I'm sure that it has been observed because I'm sure that what you're saying is wrong. The origin of language, sex, consciousness, and objective morality is also a mystery. No, it's not. And even if it was, that doesn't mean anything. Rejecting faith in God because neither his existence nor his creative action can't be studied directly, but believing in standard cosmology, abiogenesis, evolution is a clear contradiction. No, it's not. And the application of a double standard. No, it's not. Well, God as creator is rejected, unguided random events as a better explanation of origins are adopted by a default, despite there being no empirical evidence whatsoever for both. No, that's wrong. That's an obvious contradiction in terms. No, it's not. And then you link again to your own article. It's so weird. Anyway. So here's the atheist straw man again. Right now, the only evidence we have of intelligent design is humans. Why would anyone assume to know an unknowable answer in regards of origins? Okay. Many atheists have made a career out of making silly requirements based on ignorance. Wow. Rather than first creating a solid epistemological framework of inquiry. Stop talking about epistemology! Sorry. That's okay. Deconverted man's gonna ignore the happenstance of things that are in deconverted man's life that are aligning with this thing. Oh, that's annoying. Anyways, yeah, no, okay, we have other people have done it. I'm gonna do it. Screw it. I'm gonna have to do it. Whatever. Might not be good, but I'm gonna have to do it just so that he's wrong. Anyways, I'll have to. Abiogenesis is how we test the materialistic claim, and it fails. No, that's not the. Almost 70 years of experimental attempts to recreate a life lab, not even the basic building blocks have been recreated. Lie. That's not true. Evolution has been tested and it fails. No, you're wrong. 70,000. Where are you getting all this? Where are you getting all this information from? All they got are bacteria. Yeah, that's how that works. Not a hint of transitional show to new orgasmal limb or improvement of complexity. Fail. You don't understand how it works, obviously. The existence of God is inferred just like all historical science is. No, it's not. This is basic logic and critical thinking, but some atheists have a mind like a sleeve. No, you have a mind like a sieve. You're incoherent. God's existence is inferred by many criteria, like inductive reasoning. No, it's not. And eliminative inductions. No, it's not. But preserve on nonsensical demands like asking for demonstration of God's existence. Yeah, it's just not fair. Stop. It's nonsense to ask for demonstration of this. That's just not fair. Just stop asking. Oh, it's so unfair. I mean, of course it's true. I don't have to prove it's true. Stop asking. It's nonsense to ask me for proof when, obviously it's true. That's just silly. How does someone test for Wiley created multiverse? I don't know what the hell you're talking about. They can't. Don't even try. Honest physicists know that. Okay. All right. So don't try to test it because you just can't do it. Okay. Yeah. Just give up. Okay. Got it. The existence of God is invalid as the multiverse. So it's invalid. Got it. String theory, invalid. Okay. Abiogenesis. But you said that was so microevolution, numerous other improvable theories. Those are wrong. Many atheists are like a kid stuck in high school. You're like a kid stuck in high school. It never grows up or moves on. And like in a wind-up echo chamber. Like what you've created here by yourself on this forum. Alone. Talking to nobody other than you. There's more to reality than the world of our senses perceives. I agree to that, but not in the way that you think, because our senses are limited. So Demand. No one's ever produced any verifiable evidence for God demonstrating his existence. All religions make that claim for their specific God. Well, I want some proof. Hard, verifiable proof. Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Every worldview, without exception, is a faith-based belief system. Wrong! 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 You just want that to be true because of Tu Kyo Kwe. You want it to all be faith-based because then you're comfortable. You're safe. If everything is faith-based, then you're safe. Faith is safe, protected from exam and critical examination and analysis. I reject faith. I don't need it because I have facts. When you have fact, you don't need faith anymore. You don't. You just don't need faith. You just don't need it when you have the facts. Period. End of story. It's not based on faith at all. The observation of the real world, and that fork fell down, is, hey, there's a real world. Is that faith? Oh, you have to believe that. It's just so nonsensical. Oh, my word. Anyways, that's an essay that fails. We already know that. I just want to bring that up again. Consisting in states instead of statements to hold their jobs as being true. Starting from this view, we could dispense with the foolish notion of proof. Well, there you go. No proof required for anything. Everything is true. Well done. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. Oh, my word. The same as so quick to require, though, have no such proof their worldview that clearly hold. Instead of proof, the absolute sense will proceed with examining the available evidence, which should point with confidence to the worldview that best accounts for the evidence. Okay, nobody asked for proof in that sense, but okay, sure. But you're contradicting yourself now because you're saying there is no proof and there is no evidence, and you're saying that asking for proof is incoherent. And so which is it? Which is it? You want both. You want it to be that there is evidence, but you also want it to be that asking for evidence is unjustified and that everything is based on, and it's a foolish notion of proof that, so we shouldn't do that. What we should do is lower the bar of standard, like William Lane Craig said, right? We should just lower that bar until we can ratchet it down to where we just are able to believe in any nonsense. Okay. This is one of the most common demands of atheists, as mentioned, reason for unbelief and this burden of proof is met. Yeah, I don't believe something until you prove it. I know, it's just so incoherent that I ask for proof. All of which such demand demonstrates is a lack of epistemological sophistication of the unbeliever. No, it shows your epistemological sophistication because you think that demanding evidence is a bad thing. That's your problem, not mine. Usually this challenge goes hand in hand with claiming that there's no evidence of God's existence. Well, there isn't. There's just bad arguments. What they want to say, however, is there's no empirically verifiable proof. No. There's no evidence. Period. At all. Not even a little. None. You have nothing. You've offered nothing. You've said that asking for evidence is, as we go back, irrational to demand or ask for proof, right? So, there isn't any. It's irrational to ask for it, right? So there is nothing. You got nothing. You have nothing. You can't have anything to offer, or you would have offered it already. When an atheist, agnostic, or someone holding a mix of agnosticism and atheism makes the claim there's no proof of God, they immediately and implicitly admit there's no proof of the natural world, all there is either. No, they don't. And that it doesn't. Otherwise, they would say, we know the natural world is all there is. What? No, but we... What the fuck? Why would we say that? Here is the verifiable evidence. For that, however, we have to be all-knowing, which we aren't. Then he shows a second option, which is based on no reason at all. Man, you're getting it so wrong. It's hilarious. I mean, I know you've been in conversations with atheists where we've gone over these things with you. How can you be so wrong so consistently? Yeah, Thomas wasn't given proof. 500 weren't given proof. Yeah, well, no, they were, but it's okay back then because yeah, reasons. Atheists commonly ask and say, "Show me God." No God has been demonstrated to exist. It's the same as asking, "Show me what you think." I can show you what I think. I can do that. I can do that. So we all have thoughts and memories. We can talk about them, but we cannot show someone else what we actually think. Not the same as measure brain activity when we think. No, that is the same actually. And now I'll have to dig it out, but there was a project where they were studying dreams and they were aligning the dreams, the measurements of the dream to awake patterns. And so they would show a picture of something to a person, and they would record that brain pattern. Okay, then they would look for that brain pattern during their dream. So they'd show them a picture, say, of a horse. And they go, okay, like, did you ever dream about a horse? You know, it's like, yes, I did. Okay, great. Then we'll find where these two line up, and there you go. Then what they did is they set up a computer to find pictures or videos that match those parts of what the brain scan were doing. And I don't know how far along that project got or if it received funding or anything like that, but they absolutely were trying to and showing what people were thinking of. So, yeah, we can do it. It's been done. Uh, let's see. Let's see. Trying to find this one particular thing that I remember. There's been more studies on dreams, but yeah, we could absolutely do it. It's just it's going to be difficult to do it, but it's not like we can't do it. But again, this is more, well, we can't do this, we can't do that. Here's something we can't do as if it matters or is relevant to the topic at hand, which it's not. But yes, I can show someone else what I'm thinking, and that is the same as the brain activity. It is exactly the same. It is, in fact, that's all it is. We need to endure, well, at the sum total of, we need to endorse a worldview that makes sense and as a consequence of carefully chosen and elaborated methodology of epistemological framework. I hate everything right now. And applied to consistent, correct case research, coming to meaningful, most accurate conclusions regarding origin reality. That's why I reject your theology. That's what I'm doing. There are several ways, like rationalism, empiricism, pragmatism, authority, and revelation. These are not, authority and revelation is not a good way to know if something is true. Empiricism is the cornerstone of the scientific method. No, not really. Empiricism and philosophy, the views. Jeez. Okay. Oh my god, he's still going! And there's two links to the same topic again. So weird. So here's one quote from Professor. How can I exist without a creator? I'm not aware of any answer ever given. Yeah, that's one guy. Why don't you link to that? Like, link to the thing where he said this. Anyways. Um, can you demonstrate that your state of mental affairs really exists? Yes. That you're real? Yes, we can do this. Yes, we can do that. All right, so okay, so it just goes. Oh my god, this is so long. It just keeps going. Then he has 125 reasons to believe in God. Cumulative God of the Bible, and then he has this thing that's a meme. That just that's it. Just wow, just Wait. And then he posted it again? Why did he post the whole thing again? Oh, I guess he posted it in several posts and reduced it down to one post. I don't know, man. Whatever. All right, so that's a look at Ortega's forum there. And like I said, if you want to type out stuff at him, I guess you could do it. I'm not gonna because I've graduated. Well, I kind of want to. I don't know. I might just copy it into Chat GPT and then just copy what Chat GPT says back, and that will be my posting. I don't know. It just seems like the amount of effort that I should give to that. The epistemological framework that must be established is a thing, and I'm gonna have to figure out a way to do that and talk about it. I don't know how deep I'll go on it, but it's something that I need to do apparently because we got nitwits like this that think that we atheists haven't done that. So I'm gonna have to figure out something. I don't know when I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna have to, I guess. All right. Yeah, his epistemological move is to cast doubt on knowledge. Right. Exactly. His only move in chess is to concede that there is no chess and not play the game. So yeah. All right. That's it for now. Hope you had fun looking at this insanity. I know I didn't. Wait, I did. No, I had fun. I also lost my mind, and it's just weird how life is sometimes. I tell you. All right, talk to you all later. Until then, be skeptical.